Imam Zayed, we'll let you open up with your thoughts, and then of course Mufti Qamar will also contribute.
Inshallah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala Sayyid al-Khalq wa Ashraf al-Mursaleen. Charity and giving, and the fact that a Muslim is a positive being and a positive effect to everything around it, is one of the major fundamentals in Islam. As I said in previous episodes before, if we look at the most repeated concept in the entire Quran of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's one phrase: الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, those who believed and acted and did righteous deeds upon their belief. So it's not just about Iman. Actually, Iman is the settled legs that we stand upon to do righteous deeds. And one of the best righteous deeds that a human being can possibly do is to give out charity, to be a giver, to be helpful, to be supportive. As per the hadith of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the most loved deed by a human being is helping other Muslim and bringing pleasure to his heart. Giving out charity, when you look at the Quran, is synonymous to immediately after believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ ذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدْعُ الْيَتِيمِ. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala criticizes people who do not believe in the religion, immediately describes him those who do not support the orphan, those who do not urge to give to the hungry. في Surah Al-Muddathir, people who are in hellfire are asked by people in Jannah, what brought you there? First thing, we were not praying. And this is a sign of prayers is the fundamental of our deen. Immediately after that, وَلَمْ نَكُ نُطْعِمُ الْمُسْكِينَ, and we did not give and feed the hungry. In Surah Al-Layl, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes who is going to be avoided hellfire. وَسَيُجَنَّبُهَا الْأَتْقَى, that who fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and وَيُؤْتِي مَا لَهُ يَتَزَكَّى, and he gives out from his money and give out charity. So it is a major fundamental trait of a Muslim character to be given, to be generous, to be supportive, helpful. With money, money is the most visible and obvious thing, but also in any way he can, whether verbally or by advice or anything that he can possibly do to help.
Thanks. Imam Zayed, I'm trying to get to the bottom of a question. Money, generosity and money are synonymous, and that's the obvious discussion that's had over and over.
Sure.
How to be generous with money. But there are other forms of generosity. I want to focus on that today. What are the other forms of generosity in your view?
Well, charity is about giving, and not necessarily money. Money is the most obvious, easy way to figure giving. It could be one with knowledge, one who teaches knowledge and benefit people and affect people's lives. And that's why Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, فَضْلُ الْعَالِمِ عَلَى الْعَابِدِ كَفَضْلِ الْقَمَرِ الْمُكْتَمِلِ عَلى سَائِرِ الْكَوَاكِبِ. The ratio or the relativeness between a scholar and a worshipper is the difference between a full moon to the rest of the stars, which cannot even be compared. Why? Because a scholar can benefit people with his knowledge, and that knowledge can affect people positively. A worshipper benefits only himself, because he's worshiping for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So helping people, advising people, being supportive, being a conducive element in the environment around you for people to be better and feel better and feel welcomed. All the positiveness that you can possibly give, whether materialistic or spiritual or even by gesture, that is charity. A smile in a brother's face is charity. Even a piece of food that I put in my wife's mouth or my children, and they're my wife and she's my wife and they're my children, that is charity. Charity is given and for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The key point is that it is done for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is possibly one of the best actions that a Muslim can do, inshallah.
Imam Zayed, so when we give generously to somebody and we turn around and tell the whole world and that person how generous we were to them, what's wrong with that picture?
No matter how good the deed is, even if it's charity, even if it's prayers, even if it is the deed that looks the most righteous in Islam, if it's not done only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it goes in vain and it's worthless. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has this expression, explaining these kind of people who give charity. Al-abraru al-atqiya'u al-akhfiya. People who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala righteous and hide it as much as they can. He has even a hadith sallallahu alayhi wasallam that a man gives charity with his right hand and makes sure that his left hand doesn't even know about it. So giving charity in secret takes that doubt of showing off and hypocrisy out of the whole equation, and makes it more likely to be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the great supplications of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min sadaqatin yatba'uha mannun aw adha. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I resort to you from a charity that I give that is followed by showing off or harm to the person that is given it. In the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وإن تؤتوا الصدقات فنعما هي وإن تخفوها وتؤتوها الفقراء فهو خير لكم. If you give charity in public, it is a good thing to do. But if you do it in hiding and give it to the poor, it is better for you. So showing off takes away the reward for charity, because then it's not for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.